Hey guys, welcome back to the Painting Parlour. Here is video 2 in the competition showcase series. So I'm just gonna, every once in a while when I get some spare time, just to make sure I've got some good content coming on here for you, I'm just gonna take a piece out of the cabinet that's finished, and I'm gonna quickly talk you through the piece and whatever it is, and how the process was built up and how the model was painted and everything else. So this, you can see from the very delicate nameplate, is called The First Day, and it is a Spartan from Frank Miller's 300, and obviously it's therefore telling the story of the Battle of Thermopylae and the Hot Gates in Greece, where 300 Spartans and about 1,000 Athenians, who never get mentioned ever in history, held the Hot Gates against over 1 million Persians for 3 days before they were betrayed. And this story is the first day. So it's the evening of the first day. The sun is going down over the Hot Gates. Shadows are building up, and this particular soldier has lifted his helmet up onto his head, and is just surveying his handiwork for the day. The pillar design is obviously a Greek pillar for a bit of fun with purple marble, and then in a very Frank Miller-esque style. Frank always uses purple for shading within stone in the comics. It's obviously done with a bit of fun Frank Miller style font, and then it's blasted with spattered blood. Again, very 300, the comic book style, which is what I was going for. So here you can see a Spartan warrior with some really lovely, historically accurate armour, and some lovely sort of flesh work and cape work. This is a competition piece again, and it's showing the transition between deep shadow and the sort of last cracks of light coming through the Hot Gates. So first off, this armour is ancient Greek bronze, really heavy at this point. In the Spartans probably had the best armour in the world at this point, in zinc, in the similar way to the Carthaginian armour was. Obviously Carthage was on a Greek archipelago, so this is gold. It's starting to tarnish because the copper in the armour is tarnishing, but it is a much stronger, much denser version of the bronze than you would get, say, in ancient Roman bronze at this exact same time. This shield is painted true metallic metal, and if you can see, it's painted true metallic metal with 1,000 brush strikes. So it's done to specifically mirror the hammer strikes from the armourer. And the same on the helmet. You can really see it on the helmet. Actually, there's texture built up that isn't on the model. That's added in with paint. Where you can use paint to put a realistic finish. See that? That's extremely realistic for ancient bronze. I have 2 ancient bronze Greek helmets in my house. Roman history, ancient Greek military history is a real passion of mine. And I have one from the 13th century and one that's a reproduction, and I was able to really heavily pull on those for inspiration, which is really nice. And horsehair plume, obviously. So if we come into the model itself, the guy's got the kind of 1,000-yard stare. Again, this is by Young Miniatures, another stunning piece from them. I really like their historical bust range. It's a 110, probably 1.9 actually, in scale. Really beautiful sculpted detail here. Just adding in the scars and stuff myself. Just a quick slash with a blade on the resin, and then work it into the paint job. The brooch is the same bronze, and then the cloak is, you won't be able to see it on the video, it's again thousands of strikes to get the fabric texture, and then it goes from catching the light right the way around to deep shadow. It's all about contrast in miniature painting, something I still struggle with, because I'd like to paint hyper-realistic, and hyper-realistic, you need more contrast to make a miniature pop. So this miniature had been painted, and then many friends that are exceptional painters had kept sort of prodding me to go back in and add more contrast to it, and I did, and obviously it scored an awful lot higher. So that's just the way it is. You just have to accept that contrast is what makes good miniature painting. This is a really lovely bust. So Simon Powell from Beardy Wargaming did the custom plaque. I obviously painted it all up. The plinths are from Pete's Spaces, who was an incredibly good guy. I don't know if you guys know, but I used to run a wood business called Bully's Wood. Pete and I were sort of de facto in competition, but actually had become really good mates anyway. And there was never competition. I just sent him people and he sent me people. And since then I've just decided I don't have time to do it anymore for the time being. So I send everybody over to Pete now, and he does really lovely, lovely, lovely bases. So take my hat off to Pete. I've still got a bit of time left in this video, so I might as well show you something else. What shall we show you now? Oh, this is a really lovely one. I like this piece a lot. So this is Knucklehead, sculpted by Rafa, I think, originally. And he did a beautiful job on it. I did this piece as a Russian naval sort of chief petty officer who's an underground boxing champion as well, and it tells a story, and I won't bore you with that, but if you're interested in reading about the project, go onto Putty and Paint, look for Bully's Painting Parlour, and there's a little story accompanying this, as there is with all of my pieces. But what makes Ivan a lot of fun was obviously the detached retina in his eye, which is hard to do given the scale, and then all of the bruising which has been built up. And then, as you can see, the tattoos are very old-fashioned, really lovely style. The chest obviously provides a beautiful framing for that. There's a phenomenal sculpt for a painter to play with and experiment with. And then on the back there's another tattoo which is it says "My Mother Russia" on the back, and obviously it's a babushka doll. So the story is he leaves Mother Russia behind him for a new dawn after stormy seas in the Navy. And this is just A4 paper that I just quickly recreated a Soviet era boxing poster. I've literally no idea what it says, but I really like the design and I just freehanded it on. Little medal came from, I don't know, something on eBay, no idea what it was, and then I just added a bit of ribbon to it, and then this is a Soviet naval cap badge, which is the plinth for it. That's it. Very, very lovely sculpt. I really had a lot of fun painting this. This is one of those hyper real skins, so you can see all the veins under the skin, so it's not just veins on top of the skin, but it's layer after layer after layer. And you should be able to see all the subdermal veins, and that's achieved by painting them and then airbrushing over the top of them with translucence repeatedly, so all the moles and everything are all either subdermal or on the surface. I wouldn't want to pick a fight with this guy. I doubt anybody else watching would either. So there's two more of my competition pieces. Pop a comment and like and share and subscribe if you haven't. Please help me to continue to grow the watching list and grow the number of people that are subscribing. I'm starting to think about what I might do as a 500 subscriber giveaway. I'm really enjoying doing this. It gets me out of the house, and just filming the videos is a bit of fun when I'm not painting. So thank you everybody who's taken the time to subscribe or just to watch this video. You're all awesome, and big love.